The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Kethera's crystalline form dimmed to barely perceptible luminescence. Her species, the Velothi, had once been the galaxy's most prolific traders, their bioluminescent bodies serving as living beacons across trade routes that spanned dozens of star systems. Now, fewer than 10,000 remained. The neurological decay spreads faster each cycle, Kethera transmitted through the universal translator, her voice carrying the weight of extinction. Our young ones lose their light before their first solar year. We have perhaps 2 generations before the Velothi become nothing more than a historical footnote. The assembled representatives shifted uncomfortably. The Zephyrians, with their metallic exoskeletons, clicked disapprovingly. The gas-based ethereal swirled in patterns that indicated distress. Even the ancient Karathi, who had witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations, remained motionless in their gravitational fields. The resources required for genetic reconstruction are substantial, rumbled High Counselor Dexal, his reptilian features betraying no emotion. The collective has already allocated significant funds to the Andorian plague and the Sirius mining disaster. We cannot justify it. Cannot justify saving an entire species? The voice cut through the chamber like a plasma blade. All eyes turned to the human representative, Dr. Elena Vasquez, who stood barely 5 feet tall among beings that towered over her. Her dark eyes burned with an intensity that made several council members step back. The humans speak out of turn, Dexal hissed. Your species has been in the collective for barely 50 of your years. You lack the experience to understand such complex decisions. Elena stepped forward, her hands clasped behind her back. We understand enough. We understand that you're abandoning the Velothi because helping them won't increase your trade profits or expand your territories. We understand that you're treating sentient beings like a failed investment. The Zephyrian delegate's mechanical voice crackled through the chamber. The Velothi's condition is irreversible. Our best scientists have confirmed it. Resources spent on them could save thousands of other lives across the galaxy. Your best scientists, Elena repeated, pulling out a small data pad. Have any of them considered that the Velothi's bioluminescence might be the key to understanding their neural decay? Have they studied how their light-based communication system could be artificially enhanced to compensate for the deterioration? Kethera's form suddenly brightened, hope flickering across her translucent features. You have studied our physiology? We've done more than study it, Elena replied, her voice softening as she addressed the Velothi ambassador. We've spent the last 6 months developing a solution. The human colony on Kepler 442b has been working around the clock to create bioneural implants that can interface directly with your species' unique nervous system. The chamber erupted in surprised murmurs. Dexal's eyes narrowed. Impossible. The complexity of Velothi neural architecture is beyond current technology. Elena smiled grimly. Beyond your technology, perhaps. But humans have something you seem to lack. We don't abandon our own. And once we decided the Velothi were our own, failure stopped being an option. She activated her data pad, projecting a holographic display of the bioneural implant. The device doesn't cure the decay, but it creates new pathways for neural communication. It essentially gives the Velothi a second nervous system that can take over as their original one fails. Kethera's luminescence pulsed rapidly, the Velothi equivalent of gasping. This could save us? It already has, Elena replied. 3 volunteers from your colony ships have been testing the implants for the past month. They're not only stable, they're showing enhanced cognitive abilities and stronger bioluminescent output than they had before the decay began. The council chamber fell silent again, but this time it was the silence of awe rather than resignation. The ethereal swirled in complex patterns of amazement, while the Karathi's gravitational fields fluctuated with what could only be described as embarrassment. The implants will be ready for mass production within the next solar cycle, Elena continued. And before you ask, no, we're not expecting payment. We're not looking for trade agreements or territorial concessions. We're doing this because it's the right thing to do. As the session concluded and the council members began to disperse, Kethera approached Elena. Her form was brighter now, pulsing with renewed hope. Why, she asked simply. Why would humans risk so much for a species you barely know? Elena looked up at the towering alien, her expression thoughtful. Because we know what it's like to be underestimated. We know what it's like to be written off as insignificant. And we know that sometimes the smallest species can make the biggest difference. The Velothi ambassador's light brightened until it filled the chamber, and for the first time in decades, it wasn't the light of a dying star, it was the light of a new dawn.